nationwide pa!
Ang anghel ng Panginoon ay nagbalita kay Santa Maria.
At siya ay naglihi, lalang ng Espiritu Santo.
Aba, Ginoong Maria, napupuno ka ng grasya. Ang Panginoong Diyos ay sumasa iyo. Bukod kang pinagpala sa babaeng lahat, at pinagpala rin naman ang iyong anak na si Jesus.
Santa Maria, Ina ng Diyos, ipanalangin mo kaming makasalanan, ngayon at kung kami mamamatay. Amen.
Darito ang alipin ng Panginoon.
Maganap nawa sa akin, ayon sa wika mo.
Aba, Ginoong Maria, napupuno ka ng grasya. Ang Panginoong Diyos ay sumasa iyo. Bukod kang pinagpala sa babaeng lahat, at pinagpala rin naman ang iyong anak na si Jesus.
Santa Maria, Ina ng Diyos, ipanalangin mo kaming makasalanan, ngayon at kung kami mamamatay. Amen.
At ang Verbo ay nagkatawang tao.
At nakipamayan sa atin.
Aba, Ginoong Maria, napupuno ka ng grasya. Ang Panginoong Diyos ay sumasa iyo. Bukod kang pinagpala sa babaeng lahat, at pinagpala rin naman ang iyong anak na si Jesus.
Santa Maria, Ina ng Diyos, ipanalangin mo kaming makasalanan, ngayon at kung kami mamamatay. Amen.
Ipanalangin mo kami, o Santang Ina ng Diyos.
Nang kami maging dapat na makinabang sa mga pangako ni Jesucristong Panginoon.
Manalangin tayo. Panginoon aming Diyos, kasihan mo nawa ang aming mga kaluluwa ng iyong mahal na grasya, at yayamang dahilan sa pamamalita ng anghel ay nakilala namin ang pagkakatawang tao ni Jesucristong anak mo, pakundangan sa mahal niyang pagpapakasakit at pagkamatay sa krus, ay papakinabangin mo kami sa kanyang pagkabuhay na magmuli sa kaluwalhatian sa langit, alang-alang kay Jesucristo ring Panginoon namin. Amen. Luwalhati sa Ama, at sa Anak, at sa Espiritu Santo.
Kapara noong sa unang-una, ngayon at kailanman, at magpasawalang hanggan.
Amen.
Amen.
Lahat ng drama, tawanan, balita, at all-time favorite music hits.
On air, online, on the ground.
Sa lungkot at ligaya, kami pa rin ang inyong kasama. We're the place where you truly belong. Mula sa TVH Group of Networks, ito ang inyong himpilan. Ito ang inyong tahanan. Number 1 sa Mega Manila.
Well, it's been a long time since we haven't done a koolNews at noon, and we are back. Fellow, good afternoon, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. This is koolNews at noon. I am Cairo as we bring you the latest stories that care for you. And we are live on Teacher and Cool FM and News Radio 93.1. Let's begin with our top stories as the International Criminal Court's ICC Office of Public Counsel for Victims has formally requested that former President Rodrigo Duterte's claims regarding the Tribunal's non-jurisdiction over the Philippines be dismissed. In the 27-page document dated June 9, Personal Counsel Paulina Masida, who was appointed to represent the collective interests of potential victims, submits that the defense challenge should be dismissed. Masida was referring to the 38-page defense challenge with respect to jurisdiction dated May 1, questioning the ICC's jurisdiction over the ex-chief executive's arrest for alleged crimes against liberty. This reason was used by the team to appeal that he be released immediately and the case against him be nullified forthwith. The document, which came from the Duterte's team, stated that there is no legal basis for the continuation of the proceedings against the former president. However, this was noted by OPCV. The Principal Counsel submits that the defense challenge should be dismissed, the office said. The wording of Articles 12 and 1 to 7 of the Rome Statute or the statute is crystal clear, and thus, the Republic of the Philippines withdrawal from the statute has no legal effect upon the already established jurisdiction of the court, especially since the prosecutor's preliminary examination had commenced before this said withdrawal became effective, it explained. It likewise mentioned that victims have expressed great concern at the possibility that proceedings against Duterte could be halted if the defense challenge is successful. They consider that the jurisdiction of the court is well established and that it can exercise its jurisdiction over the present case. Concluding otherwise would mean upholding impunity and depriving victims of justice, OPCV asks. In the same document, OPCV detailed that Masida failed to personally meet with the victims of Duterte's drug war due to the security situation and time constraints, while the office noted that the Principal Counsel was able to collect the lawyer representing some of the victims, as well as organizations supporting victims in the Philippines. The document states, victims expressed the concern about the possibility that the proceeding against Mr. Duterte could be terminated. They expressed the view that if the court chooses to uphold the overly restrictive reading of the statute proposed by the defense, and the suspect is returned to the Philippines as a result, they will have no judicial recourse and no hope of pursuing justice, it pointed out. Moreover, they indicated that they could face threats from the suspect and his supporters, the paper added. The OPCV also emphasized that accountability must be a certainty, and that if the defense interpretation is accepted, the consequences of such impunity would be dire in the absence of any possibility to obtain justice at the national level. With this appeal, the victim's Principal Counsel requested that the ICC dismiss the defense challenge. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. on Tuesday said he is considering conducting performance assessments of cabinet members every quarter. He said this during an abashed interview in Malacanan when asked if there were any new developments in the evaluation of agency heads and other officials. He said, "It is an ongoing thing. This is something. It is essentially putting all government agencies and departments on notice that we have to do better. And we will be looking very, very closely, and we will make that review on a periodic basis. Maybe on a quarterly basis. We will see if we have achieved our targets on a quarterly basis. And we will be much more rigorous in looking at the performance, not only at the top level, but all the way. All the way, and that's why we will see. I'm sure you will see more changes in the future," he added. Marcos also clarified that recent changes in his cabinet should not be seen as a revamp. You know, I have to explain that it's not a cabinet revamp. What we really did was we are still in the process of examining. What happened really here was that I put everyone on notice that you are all on. It's basically all on probation, he said. On May 22, Marcos called for the courtesy resignation of all cabinet members as part of his efforts to recalibrate his administration following the results of the recent elections. The people have spoken and they expect results, not politics, not excuses. We hear them and we will act, he said. It's time to realign government with the people's expectations, he added. 8 police officers involved in the viral and controversial operation in Taguig City have been dismissed from the service, according to the National Capital Region Police Office. The NCRPO said it conducted an administrative investigation following a social media post last February, showing police officers engaging in illegitimate misconduct in the guise of a police operation inside a private residence. The investigation revealed that on February 9, 2025, some personnel from Substation 5 Taguig CPS forcefully entered the complainant's residence without a valid warrant, committed physical abuse, and allegedly stole over 76,000 pesos in cash and several electronic devices, the NCRPO said in a statement on Monday night. The complaints were then forcibly taken, deceived, and allegedly coerced into signing a document to drop charges, it added. The NCRPO revealed that 5 personnel were found guilty of grave misconduct, less grave misconduct, and conduct on becoming of a police officer, while 3 others were found liable for less grave misconduct and conduct on becoming of a police officer. Meanwhile, the substation commander was found liable for grave neglect of duty and was given a 1-rank demotion, while another officer was exonerated after being found not liable. NCRPO Chief Major General Antonio Abarin reminded policemen of the importance of returning to basics and strictly following proper procedures and established protocols. My 5 key reminders emphasize: follow what is written in the police operational procedures because this serves as our guide in all operations. Do what is right at all times and not involved in any illegal activities. By doing so, we ensure that our actions remain lawful, proper, and respectful of the rights of our citizens here. And President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. on Tuesday said they are looking into the corruption allegations against Immigration Commissioner Joel Antonio Villado. In an abashed interview at Malacanang, the President was asked if he had any instructions regarding the issue raised by anonymous employees of the Bureau of Immigration. Well, of course, we're looking at it. But you know, it's hard to study it truly if it's just a white paper that's unsigned and has no specifics, Marcos responded. But nonetheless, everything like this, we look into it and we will continue to do that, the chief executive told reporters. In a letter dated June 2 and addressed to Marcos, employees of the Bureau accused Villado of corruption and misconduct in handling cases involving the now-banned Philippine offshore gaming operators and the deportation of illegal foreign workers. The employees said that these issues, if left unaddressed, could lead to a significant corruption problem, potentially tarnishing the image of the administration. Villado refuted these accusations on Monday through a statement. For the record, I unequivocally state that all the allegations contained in the alleged white paper are patently false, he said. For the information of our media partners, we have already identified the parties behind this orchestrated and well-funded campaign aimed at shoving the agency into negative limelight once again, he also noted. We shall expose these parties at the appropriate time and venue, Villado added. As we will return with more news headlines, it is now 12:12 in the afternoon, and we will have more coming up on koolNews at 2. We will be right back after the break. Stay along with us.
This koolNews edition was brought to you by Surf Bar and Fabric Conditioner. One Mel's. Walang kasing katulad na saya sa pagkaing abot kaya. TVH Drugs. Serbisyong tapat, alagang sapat. G-Spot Reproductive Health Choices. For the Lovin'. Available on Jor-A supermarket branches near you. And Ginoman San Rafael. Ganadong mabuhay.
Tja, cheese ring ba yan? Di ka nagsishare, ha?
Naku, baby boy. Sarap talaga ng cheese ring eh. Paborito ko talaga to, bata pa lang ako.
Oo naman, iba talaga ang cheese ring, yung sobrang cheesy na may tamang tamis.
Parang ikaw lang, baby.
Ang sarap talagang balik-balikan.
Naku, ubos na. Palibre naman ako ng cheese ring, baby.
Cheese ring, ang sarap balik-balikan. Mabibili sa inyong suking tindahan. Cheese ring, can't get enough. By Regent.
What if there's a future where cars can help make the world better, where power can drive positive change and make our lives simpler and safer? A future made beautiful for us. What if that future is already here? It's all possible with the all-new Hyundai Santa Fe Hybrid. A future that's cleaner, safer, and full of possibilities for everyone. Make your smart shift today with a Hyundai Santa Fe Hybrid.
To learn more, visit www.hyundai.com/ph or any Hyundai dealership near you.
Si Tirizin,
may right bed na nito.
si Tirizin for Kids.
May right bed na nito. Coco Martin po, pag may kailangan gamot, huwag mahiyang magtanong kung may right bed na nito. Dahil gusto namin na gumaling kayo.
If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Miss, pabili ng Farex B.
Farex B ha? Ayaw ko ng iba.
Yung Farex B nga po. Meron kayong Farex B?
Marami ang umaasa sa akin. Kaya Farex B.
Buong Pilipinas ay far-excited! Hindi nagpapahinto sa ngalay, tusok, manhid sa tulong ng
Farex B. Farex B. Far-excited with Farex B.
With proper diet and healthy lifestyle, Farex Vitamin B1, B6, B12.
If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
This is Gabby Garcia for GSM News.
Choose your true love, your true passion. Choose
you're true. Drink responsibly.
Guys! Bakit ang sarap mag-shot ng Red Horse Super?
Kasi bawat shot, kasama ang tropa.
Kaya pala ubos kagad.
Red Horse Super!
Oh, tol! Daan-daan lang. Baka pati boses mo tangayin ng sipa.
Red Horse Super ang shot ng tropa. Pinalakas na tropa, pinasuper na Red Horse. Drink responsibly.
Dagdag na puhunan para sa negosyo, bagong equipment, or additional supplies. Grow your way with BDO Multipurpose Loan. Sa tulong ng BDO Multipurpose Loan, kaya nang mag-level up ng negosyo mo. Apply for a BDO Multipurpose Loan now and enjoy up to 30,000 pesos in waived loan fees. Visit any BDO branch. BDO, we find ways.
Terms and conditions apply. Promo period is from March 1 to October 31, 2025 for DTI Trade Permit number 214786 series of 2025. BDO is regulated by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas.
Our mood is to dance, in the mood to take a chance. Di na mood, bagayan, any mood, sabayan. Sakyan ang bawat mood, not just make light with your mood. Light it down or ring, afford mo light, right, basta light, get it everywhere. And get into the light, life, sun, make a light.
Drink responsibly.
Tayo na sa iyo. Tayo'y magpatingin. Tayo na sa iyo. Sila'y eksperto at pagagaling. Tayo na sa iyo. Inyong mata ay mahalin. EO Executive Optical. Ang practical. EO Executive Optical. Ito'y practical.
Girls, every Filipino deserves the gentlest care down there. Bakit di enough yung nakasanayan na? Dapat TVH Care. For every Filipina, narito ang gentlest care mo. TVH Care na para sa delicate area. TVH Care na. TVH Care for every Filipina. Our gentlest care. PH level 5. See for every Filipina. Gentlest care for every day. Our gentlest care for every Filipina. Our gentlest care for your everyday freshness versus previous formulations with regular use. TVH Care.
Welcome back to koolNews at noon. Let's continue with our headlines. As we head over to international headlines, President Donald Trump's administration said Monday it was sending 700 U.S. Marines and thousands more National Guard troops to Los Angeles, sparking a furious response from California's governor over the range deployment. Trump had already mobilized 2,000 National Guard members to the country's second most populous city on Saturday, with some 300 taking up positions protecting federal buildings and officers on Sunday. On Monday, the fourth day of protests against immigration raids in the city that have seen some scuffles with law enforcement, the Trump administration announced the mobilization of the 700 Marines as well as an additional 2,000 National Guard. A senior administration official told AFP that active duty U.S. Marines from Camp Pendleton will be deployed to Los Angeles to help protect federal agents and buildings. The official first gave a figure of 500 Marines but later updated the number to 700. Deploying active duty military personnel like U.S. Marines into a community of civilians within the United States is a highly unusual measure. The U.S. military separately confirmed the deployment of approximately 700 Marines from an infantry battalion following the unrest. They would seamlessly integrate with National Guard forces that Trump deployed to Los Angeles on Saturday without the consent of California's Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom. The deployment was meant to ensure there were adequate numbers of forces, it added. Pentagon spokesman CN Parnell then announced the mobilization of an additional 2,000 California National Guards to be called into federal service to support Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, and to enable federal law enforcement officers to safely conduct their duties. It was not immediately clear if the additional 2,000 guardsmen were on top of the 2,000 that had already been mobilized, or only the 300 that were already in the streets of Los Angeles. Newsom wasted little time accusing the president of sowing chaos in Los Angeles. Trump is trying to provoke chaos by sending 4,000 soldiers onto American soil, the governor posted on X. Earlier, he slammed the deranged decision by dictator Trump to send in Marines. U.S. Defense Secretary Vetted Gassett had first mentioned that the Marines could be deployed on Saturday. In a world of for crucial resources, China may not be opposed to start deep sea mining, but it is planting seeds for such operations in a meticulously planned economic and geopolitical strategy. The world's oceans, both international waters and those under national jurisdiction, are rich in minerals and metals like cobalt, nickel, and copper. These are important for building electric car batteries, for instance, and other technologies as countries try to transition away from fossil fuels. China is an energy-thirsty country. It will look for resources everywhere, including the deep sea, said Julia Su of Shanghai Jiao Tong University. But she said China is not particularly anxious over the issue, although recent developments, one company is itching to be the first to start mining the seabed, may put more pressure on Beijing. A Canadian firm, the Metals Company, has filed an application with the United States to begin undersea mining in international waters. Using its American subsidiary, it acted after President Donald Trump, bypassing international negotiations, signed an executive order and able to speed up the permit issuing process for such mining in U.S. and international waters. Trump signed an obscure 1980 U.S. law that says American citizens can explore for and recover deep-sea minerals in areas beyond the country's jurisdiction. Environmental groups are outraged by Trump's order, arguing that a wild, unformed-potato-sized metal containing nodules or nodulus could harm fragile undersea ecosystems. The Canadian company initially said it would submit its request to the International Seabed Authority, a body that has jurisdiction over the ocean floor in international waters. The Metals Company says it ignored this authority because of its slow pace in talks on adopting a mining code that establishes rules for exploiting seabed resources. The United States is not an ISA member. A long-time observer of those talks who spoke on condition of anonymity said China is not particularly worried about who starts mining first. For them, it's more about dominance, staying competitive in the game, and giving the impression that you can't mess with us, the observer said. With that goal in mind, they're definitely developing the technology and putting the strategic agreements in place. Alice Gilbert, a researcher at the Pinion Institute for Public Policy at Colorado School of Mines, told AAP. For instance, China has reached an agreement with the Cook Islands to explore for minerals in that Pacific country's waters. Another tiny Pacific nation, Kiribati, also says it is exploring a deep-sea mining partnership with China. This approach is more geopolitical than economic, said Emmanuel Hatche of the French Institute for International and Strategic Affairs, noting Beijing is using undersea mining as a lure to cement greater diplomatic support as it exerts power. China holds 5 contracts handed out by the ISA to look for resources in the Pacific and Indian Ocean seabeds, and these contracts cover all types of undersea mineral resources. China's is the largest number of the 22 contracts the organization has granted. And a Chinese man pleaded guilty on Monday to exporting guns and immunization to North Korea, the Justice Department said. Shan Hua Wen, age 42, who was living illegally in the United States after overstaying his student visa, was charged with violating long-standing U.S. sanctions against North Korea. Wen, arrested in California in December, was paid $2 million by North Korea for the arms shipments, the Justice Department said. Wen, an unidentified co-conspirators, allegedly concealed firearms and immunization inside containers that were shipped from Long Beach, California, through Hong Kong to North Korea. The Justice Department said law enforcement in August seized 2 devices at Wen's home that he planned to send to North Korea, a chemical threat identification device and a handheld broadband receiver that detects eavesdropping device. In September, law enforcement seized 50,000 rounds of 9mm ammunition that one allegedly obtained to send to North Korea, the department said. When also attempted to obtain a civilian plane engine from a US-based broker, it said. One faces up to 20 years in prison for violating export controls, as well as a maximum of 10 years in prison for acting as an illegal agent of a foreign government. He is due to be sentenced on August 18. And finally, in the showbiz, Twice is holding a 2025 World Tour, and as Twice, and this is named as This Is For. Aside from that, it will have a 360-degree seating for every venue, removing the boundaries between stage and audience for a next-level concert experience. Fans will be able to enjoy Twice performance in a more dynamic and immersive way. And for the Philippine date, it's gonna take place this October 4 at the Bulacan venue, that is Philippine Arena. And for more details, Steven has a showbiz report to share.
On June 9 at midnight Korean Standard Time, the group unveiled a poster announcing that they will embark on their 2025 This Is For World Tour with train stops. Incheon, Osaka, Aichi, Fukuoka, Tokyo, Macau, Bulacan, Singapore, Sydney, Melbourne, Kaohsiung, Hong Kong, and Bangkok. According to the poster, more dates will be announced soon. The first performance will take place in Incheon on July 19 and 20, followed by their shows in the previously mentioned locations between July and December. The tour dates are only for Part 1, which includes Asia and Australia. Part 2, with dates for other parts of the globe, is expected to be revealed in the near future. Earlier this month, JYP Entertainment officially announced on May 21st that Twice will be releasing their fourth full-length album titled This Is For on July 11th. The agency had previously shared the news of the comeback on May 19th via Twice's official social media channels, unveiling an intro film that highlighted the keyword "for," capturing all 9 members in a single take video. Alongside the album drop, Twice is also set to heat up the global music scene this summer. On August 2nd in America, they will take the stage as a headliner at Lollapalooza Chicago, held at Grant Park in Illinois, solidifying their position as a stadium-level artist. For koolNews, I'm Stephen Wanig del Sol, serving the stories that care for you. This is your station. This is home. This is Kool FM.
Also, in the showbiz, more individuals are expressing their views opposing the proposed expansion of the mandate and regulatory powers of the MTRCB, among them award-winning directors Brillante Mendoza and Carlos Siguion Reyna. Actor Baron Gazil, as well as several other groups, also joined the growing list of filmworkers voicing their criticism of Senate Bill No. 2805, which would expand MTRCB's coverage to include streaming platforms and other online content. On his Facebook page, Mendoza said the proposed amendment, sponsored by Senator Robin Padilla, himself an actor before becoming a senator, is deeply troubling as it aims to bluntly control one's viewing habits, even if they're in the privacy of their homes. Who has the right to dictate what we can and cannot watch? Should a government agency have this power? Is the control they already exert over cinema and television not enough? We live in an age of social media and widespread internet access. We cannot and should not control what every citizen chooses to watch. This is not the government's purview. It is a matter of personal responsibility, as Brilliant Mendoza called out. Exactly 12:30, and that is all for the headlines this afternoon. If you have any news suggestions or feedback, or you would like to share, you can get in touch with us through our email at tvh.philippines.news@gmail.com. We will return with a special coverage of koolNews today later at 4. With that, this has been koolNews at noon. I am Cairo. This is your station. This is home. This is Kool FM. Good afternoon.